Sitting at a bus stop, minding your own business, when you get a glimpse of a guy running out of a building and down the street. Turns out you're the only person who saw the guy. Will you be able to remember enough to ID the fleeing suspect? Tonight we bring you a special demonstration that will help you if you're ever an eyewitness. It's a worst-case scenario that can strike anywhere at any time. You could be running an errand, minding your own business, and end up an eyewitness to a crime. The question is, can you give police enough information to ID the suspect? You're about to see how to take those crucial moments and collect them into an accurate eyewitness account. We created our own scenario. These four people think that they're here for a simple interview. In the next few seconds, all that will change.
Yeah, it's literally like something up.
What are you looking at?
These four unsuspecting people have become a crucial link to a possible crime. But how much did they take in? And how well will they recall it? From this angle, you can see the incident play out. The suspect starts running out of the bank. He drops something in front of the group and is directly in their eye line for a mere 4 seconds. He pushes past a bicycle messenger and makes for the getaway car. It's all over in less than 15 seconds. Now, the camera shows the witness's reaction as the suspect stops and yells the words,
What are you looking at?
I can actually see or feel that.
They hardly miss a beat and continue with their conversation. What, if anything, did they see? And who got the best glimpse of the suspect? Moments later, our expert detective arrives at the scene.
Anybody see what happened out here? I'm Detective Mark Arneson. Robbery suspect just ran by you this morning. Worst case scenario, you just became eyewitnesses. We're gonna go upstairs. I need you not to speak to your neighbor. Let's go up and see exactly what you saw when you ran by you, shall we? Let's go.
Detective Arneson is about to walk our group through the standard eyewitness procedure. Upstairs, he breaks up the group.
Crystal, Chandler, I'm gonna set you up with a sketch artist right now so we can recreate what you watched this morning.
Now comes a painstaking process of elimination. Everything the four have committed to memory will be examined and re-examined. Each will be asked to describe the suspect: height, race, face, car make, and license plate.
So you're going to look at the head shapes, and then it goes into eye shapes, noses, mouths.
He yelled, "What are you looking at?" Picked up his keys and then took off running toward, I guess it was a white vehicle.
What color hair do you think he had?
I think he had red hair.
Do you remember about how tall he was?
Not very tall, he was not a very big guy.
He was short.
In the interview room, Detective Arneson learns that Ishmael didn't actually see the suspect, but what he heard helps build the picture.
You can actually
What are you looking at?
Could you determine what ethnic background the individual was?
From the voice, voice I heard I'm probably Caucasian.
Male or female?
Male, it was a male.
Progress is being made with both sketch artists. With careful prompting, these trained professionals extract physical information about the suspect from each eyewitness. But the question remains, how accurate is the testimony? There are many factors that can blur the memory. Discussing details with other witnesses, low light, the distance between you and the suspect, other faces that might distort a person's recollection of the suspect's face. There were three other key players in this scenario: a businessman drinking coffee at a nearby cafe, the bike messenger, and a second police officer. Could they confuse the picture for an eyewitness? A good tip is to write down what you see, even if it's on the back of your hand. Make a note of a suspect's height, weight, and skin tone. Try to include clothing and hair color. And if you see a car, try to remember the make, model, and license plate number. Time to find out what Becky remembers.
Did he have a mustache or a beard?
He had a goatee. It was like right under his lip, and it was really thick. But it was just kind of like the end of a paintbrush.
Earlier, Chandler and Crystal seemed to be talking about the same man. What transpires are two entirely different faces, and Becky's recollection varies from the other witnesses.
Yeah. one's pretty close. The goatee's really good.
And he had a goatee for sure. You notice that goatee.
Oh, yeah.
These three sketches compare our witness's recollection. Since Ishmael never actually saw the suspect, his sketch is faceless. In real life, a suspect could be brought in on the basis of a sketch.
We have been able to interview him. We've been able to do sketches with him. Some of the sketches may or may not be similar, and I think after we do the lineup, a live lineup, we'll see just how close they got.
Now it's time for a process we've seen many times on TV police dramas. Safe behind a two-way mirror, the eyewitnesses are presented with a police lineup. One of these men may or may not be the suspect.
What I want you to keep in mind that beards, mustaches, goatees, hair can all change on a male. During this lineup, is there anything you want them to say? Becky?
Yeah, I want him to say, what are you looking at with emphasis on you?
Okay.
In a loud, clear voice, repeat after me. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
It's time for each eyewitness to identify the suspect.
Five.
Which number?
5.
That guy right there, number 4.
Ishmael is up next. Because he only heard the suspect, he wants to hear the statement again.
I like number 2, number 5, and number 6 are repeated again, please.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
Number 6 from the voice.
So far, no one has chosen the same suspect. Now it's Crystal's turn.
I'm going to go with number 6, but I'm not entirely certain.
Becky, you voted for number 5. Chandler, you voted for number 4. Ishmael and Crystal, you voted for number 6. So let's go through and see who everybody is.
Number 2, step forward and identify yourself.
My name is Bradley. I'm a production assistant for Worst Case Scenario.
Hi, I'm Tony. I played the businessman at the cafe in Los Angeles.
Hello, my name is Justin, and I've been a police officer in the Worst Case Scenario.
So, is the suspect in the lineup?
Becky, you picked number 5. Is there any particular reason you picked number 5?
His voice and his mouth.
My name is Craig. I played the perpetrator in Worst Case Scenario. What are you looking at?
Becky was able to pick out the right individual. People see different things under different situations. Chandler, you did a great sketch of the police officer that drove me up. Unfortunately, at any time you can become an eyewitness. Focus on the event, focus on the suspect, and remember that your identification will not only help the investigation, but it's going to help that victim.
These tips can turn your quick glance into a perpetrator's worst-case scenario.
Craig, though, I want you to be first up here and meet the person that just put you in state prison. Becky, this is Craig. There you go. And just so you know, picture of you before and after. It's very, very good.
Remember, experts say the key to recalling a suspect is writing down a description or repeating out loud what you saw right away.